Hey, he's not on mute. Here we go. Lewis is in. He's finally got himself down to the club shop. He's bought the shirt. How are you doing, mate? All right.
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
I've got a bit of old school merch today. The dark times.
Yeah, I've gone for Alex Mowat. Alex Mowat with the screamer. Yeah, I've gone for number 10, Alex Mowat. That's how far we've come. And we're back. We've got 182 people here. We're here to give our Leeds United predictions today. Hello, everybody. Brownie is back. He is back. Everyone's buzzing at that. Not so much Lewis. Lewis has been here already, but, we had a good time the other day.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's doing good. Brownie, all right, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Just can't wait for it to start now. We've had the pre-season, haven't we? We've been to all the games. Just want to get stuck into it now.
Yeah, definitely. Lou, all right, mate?
Good, mate. Just having a look at the chats and look at what people are saying. I'm good. It's good to see you both back together again after the other day. We won't say too much, but it was fun.
Well done, it was good. Yeah, been well received, mate. Been well received. Everyone's buzzing. Brownie's back, which is great to see. Where's Rob? Rob, I think, from what we understand, he was supposed to be on this, but he said he's got COVID. So we obviously wish Rob the best. Mickey, where's Mickey? No idea.
Out somewhere, sticking a fork in a toaster somewhere in a pub socket or
in a barn, singing somewhere.
I love it, man. I love it.
God knows. But Lou, I see you've got the shirt. Is that a recent purchase?
Came today, mate. Came today with the season ticket and the Scum Away ticket. So a very good delivery day. Indeed, it all just came at once. I'm like, nice one.
The hat trick then, yeah?
The hat trick, yeah, perfect hat trick. I've had worse days, mate. I've had worse days. Worse mornings.
Oh, God. Yeah, I was sat for 2.5 hours for the Everton ticket. Yeah, I was telling Brownie, I was just whinging about it earlier on. Yeah. I was whinging about it to you both, actually, when I didn't come. Was gutted, but it is what it is. Loads of people in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. Loads. I mean, I can't even catch up on the comment. I don't know what's going on. Lewis probably knows a little bit more than me. Hit the likes. Seeing that one, Lee Smith. Thank you, Lee. Got the blue shirt as well. Lewis Ladd says, Philip, big fan of the channel. Cheers, Phil. Don Brownie. I'm not sure about this. Don Brownie. There's too much of a loving for you, Brown. What is it? What have you done to all these people? Have you paid them a little bit of cash in the post? Or what's going on?
Just speak the truth, mate, and don't chat shit.
Is this the
He's so dedicated. Hey, we're in for a fun stream, everyone. We're in for a fun stream.
Is this the fraud or is this the real one?
No, it's the fraud. But it's jokes. He's got jokes. Fair enough.
Remember how funny that was last time? I was crying. I was absolutely crying. That was so funny. Right. Okay. Loads of questions coming in. Keep them coming in, guys. Right. I'm going to get straight into it. Lou, we've already got our thoughts. I just want to come to Brownie straight off the bat. Pre-season, David, you've been to a few games. What have you made of it so far, buddy? Are you happy? Are you sad? What's going on? We'll touch into transfers afterwards, but just in general, Leeds playing style, is it got you ready, or are you a little bit? I mean, personally, I'll just say this right now: the fact that the season's starting on Saturday, I don't know if I'm ready for it yet.
Oh, I'm more than ready for it because the pre-season games were a little bit underwhelming. Take the Villarreal performance out of it, and the actual games were a little bit. But they are what it is. What it is. Pre-season games, isn't it? I mean, under Bielsa, we've never had a good pre-season. Like, it's just he just wants to get the minutes in, doesn't he? So hopefully, like Lewis has said throughout this week, we hit the ground running Saturday.
Lou,
just a little note, mate. Just came up on my Twitter. Derby are losing to Salford 2-0 in 18 minutes. But we'll carry on anyway. You know my thoughts on pre-season. I don't really look into it that much, and I don't think Bielsa does either. I don't think he analyses the opponents as much as he would league games. I think it's the same with cup games a lot of the time as well. We saw it against QPR, a couple of seasons back, and it's just. You can't look into it too much because Bielsa's and his coaching staff are probably just looking at certain things. The results don't really matter. The performances, people get a bit worried about. But the other day, we looked solid.
Really good. You got to take into consideration the teams we're playing as well. We're not exactly playing we're not playing idiots.
I mean, I think they were picking up on the performances against Guiseley, but that's your under-23s team. You can't really say anything about that. And then Blackburn, yeah, we weren't great. I'll be honest, we weren't great. But everyone who were there, people who were watching on the stream maybe were watching the football, watching the performance. But honestly, everyone that were there, me included, it sounds bad, but we weren't really bothered about the football. To be honest, we were just happy to be back together, and we weren't really. Do you know what it felt like? It felt like funnily enough, you got the shirt on, but it felt like that kind of era where you'd go to an away game and just not care about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just because you didn't care, like
the barometer,
it felt like that.
I know what you mean, because the barometer for boredom, I don't know if boredom's the right word, but when the Enoch Shawumney song comes out, you know that the game isn't that great. That's the barometer I have.
Let's not sing it. Let's not sing it, mate. We're trying to get this video monetized. You caused me dramas on that video the other day trying to get that monetized, fella.
Did I? Yeah, well, I'm gonna say you said I could swear.
I did, to be fair. I did. Derby relegated to the National League. Yeah, comment already of the video. Absolutely brilliant. I'm just, you're obsessed. You're obsessed. We're not obsessed. They made such a drama of it when they beat us. And they killed.
Brownie didn't want to know. He started talking and thought, I can't be bothered with this.
He scored a third. He just got nuts.
Salford Derby.
But it's true, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Like they were that obsessed with us during that period of time that they deserve it. They deserve it. It is pure karma.
Yeah, it's almost like the rent-free thing where they're like, we're in your heads rent-free, and it's like, to an extent, if you want to look at it like that, then yeah, but it's somebody that we just want to. I don't know how I can describe it. It's like somebody that, even though you've reached the level you want to be at and we're doing so well, you still want them to fail as much as possible. Do you know what I mean? It's like you still want them to fail. It's like Lampard as well. Lampard is the same thing.
That summer with the playoffs, it ruined the summer. It ruined it. So for me, seeing them getting battered 2-0 to Salford and having about 400 fans in Pride Park, I'm
not being funny as well. Rooney and Derby. I mean, it's arguably more of a reason to want them to fail than Lampard and Derby. So it's a funny combo. Put it that way. It's a fun. They're made for each other.
Oh yeah,
100%. Controversy wise, but yeah. Enough about them. Let's get back on to it.
Lee says, Connor, love that white shirt this morning, the old school one. Where can I don't know, mate. I got this one. Yeah. This will be pristine.
Instead of getting that box that says football for the fans, just open the boot and it'll just be full of.
Genuinely, I you know what? I love this shirt because it didn't have a sponsor written all over.
Yeah, and the yellow away one. Oh, beauty,
mate. They were two cracking kits, the yellow one and the white one. Loved it. Okay, let's get on to it. Anyway, obviously we've spoken about pre-season. Lou, have you anything to add on? Did we speak? Was it before the Villarreal game? I think it was before the Villarreal game, wasn't it? What did you make of that, mate? I mean, it was I felt that it was a better performance.
Best performance.
Thank God we've been given that. Really, in the I think we needed that performance. But what did you make of it overall, mate? What do you take from it?
Best performance of pre-season. We looked solid. I liked a lot of the pass and move. It was just nice to see against Real Betis. We were kind of the same. Obviously, the result didn't really go our way, but that were a promising performance, especially first half. I could sit here and compliment certain players and be like, that were good and that were good and that were good, but then I'd be contradicting myself saying I don't look into pre-season, because then I'd be like, oh, but that was, you know what I mean? We looked good for the first time, for the first pre-season game I've actually watched full game. We looked very good. We were absolutely all over him. I tweeted out before the game, like, whose idea was it to play both Europa League finalists back to back, obviously in Villarreal and Scum. And then, we went toe-to-toe. They scored it first minute, and I'm like, here we go. Here we go. But then,
9 seconds, man.
We held us own, mate. We held us own, and we battered them for the majority of the game, obviously. Equalised and then went 2-1 up. and then they got a late equaliser. So, but to hold them to a 2-2 draw, it's more than Scum could do. So, in fact, no, it was 1-1 on penalties, wasn't it? Actually, so I take that back. Apologies, but
don't watch it, Luke. Don't never watch them, mate. It's too painful.
Yeah, but yeah, pre-season it's done. I've not taken much from it. We've never had a good what you'd consider a good pre-season under Bielsa. I'm repeating myself, but we haven't. So I think we just focus on first game of the season now, and that's where the nerves begin to kick in, because that does matter more so than any other game.
Hey, well, you were saying you weren't nervous the other day. You got Old Trafford, it's just for the experience. You just
no. I worded that wrong. What I meant by that was, obviously I'm going to be nervous. Obviously I'm going to be shitting myself. Obviously I want to beat them. I want that result, even a draw, like a 1-1. And the day it'd be sublime, like the atmosphere. But what I'm saying is, if we walk away from there with lost 2-3-0, I'm not going to be absolutely fuming unless it's been a disgraceful performance, because on paper they're a much, much better side than us and a much more expensive side than us. Like you said, they didn't even have Pogba last time. They had Fred and McTominay and still battered us. Was that us being naive? I think so, yeah, because we didn't set up differently against a team that knew how we were going to play and change the way they played against us to counter that. They usually don't play how they played against us at Old Trafford. They never start a game like that. They knew exactly what they were doing and played into the Rams. And then at Ellen Road, we didn't do that. Same against Chelsea. So I would hope we go there and set up differently, make it sort of a brawl, a dirty game. But look, if we do lose 2-3-0 or whatever, I'm not going to walk away from there fuming unless, like I say, it's a disgraceful performance, because we are the underdogs and anyone would expect them to beat us. I'm just looking forward to the day as a whole, being in that away end with 3,000 Leeds fans, the whole day, the concourse, pub before, go down early. It's just been a long time coming, mate. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. Holler to that, mate. Porcelain, as a Villa fan, I can see Leeds finishing above us. For all our business, Bielsa makes such a difference. Until we appoint a better manager, we'll never push on. That's a very humble comment, Porcelain. I think, on the contrary, we'll get onto our Premier League predictions in a while. But yeah, I mean, I think I've got my prediction about Villa, but I think we'll do really well this year, to be honest. Brownie zones in like he has froze. He's just intensely listening. That's what it is.
I was just thinking your thumbnail of this video. There's going to be somewhere's like, oh, Premier League predictions live. They've clicked on it. Derby are losing 2-0 to Salford.
We just got to get into it.
Where's the predictions?
We just got to get into it, mate. We've not seen Brown in 4 years anyway, so we need to get Lewis O'Brien. Brownie, overwhelmed, underwhelmed? What are you thinking?
I think it's took a lot of people by surprise. I think we've seen names branded about throughout the last 18 months for that position that we want, and then to hear Lewis O'Brien, it's not somewhere. It's not. Nobody would have said Lewis O'Brien in all the preview videos, predictions, transfer rumours. It's not one that we'd have all said, but there's got to be a player in there for Bielsa to go and want him. For Bielsa to go and actually watch him at Hillsborough, there's got to be a player in there. Huddersfield fans don't want to lose him. Are we still in that market? Who knows? But look at Phillips. Look at the player he's made Phillips into. And I mean, how many people wrote him off when he was Lewis O'Brien's age? Quite a lot. And he's made Phillips into an England European Championship final international. So if anybody can make him a player, it's Bielsa. Underwhelmed, I think would be underwhelmed if that was our business done.
Yeah,
I think that would be underwhelming, but I don't think it will be.
Yeah, no, I think as well as the caveat, what I'd like to say is there's a lot of people talking about the square ball interview with Angus. What I'd like to say about that is there's a lot of people turning around and saying that our business is done. That's that. Kinnear said that we were done. That is not what he said. He said that if an opportunity came up, that Leeds would still do that business. He spoke about Rafinha as well. He said that essentially we didn't know that was going to happen. That happened, and Leeds did the deal. That's the big difference. I've said it on the Room Mill so many times. It's an opportunistic market. If a deal comes up that Leeds can and will do, they'll go and do that. Of course they will. But I think there's a lot of people listening to that Angus Kinnear interview and essentially saying, that's it, Leeds are done. The likelihood is we are done, but there is still a 25-30% chance, Lewis, that we're not done.
All I'm thinking is, and I tweeted this the other day, essentially, Llorente is a new signing for a start. Essentially. Well, I don't know, because we picked up 20 when he come in back in permanently or semi-permanently in February after his, quite a long-term injury on and off. We picked up 27 points. Only Liverpool picked up more than us from February onwards and picked up 29. So if he can stay fit full season, which again is debatable, big if, then he's essentially a new signing and a massive part to play in this season. Yeah. Would I be underwhelmed? And I agree with Brown here. Would I be underwhelmed if O'Brien and Firpo is our business done? Of course I would. Because all I'm thinking then is, even though Wild is not Bielsa, and even though we've probably got a much better setup behind the scenes and a much better mindset going forward, Sheffield United tried to recruit from the Championship and lower down. Didn't work. It were naive of him. And I'm not saying Firpo's a Championship player. Of course he isn't. He's class. From what I've seen, he looks class. It's a great signing. We need a left back, and we've got a good one. But then bringing O'Brien in, and that's it. We can't do that, in my opinion. And again, you can argue you've got to trust in Bielsa. Fair enough. But from a fan's point of view, especially off the back of last season where we finished 9th with that squad, no offence to that squad, but you know what I mean when I say that.
Oh, yeah, we overachieved massively, I think.
Yeah, you would expect a couple of, not world-class players, because, again, I think we're a couple of seasons away from that, 2-3 seasons away from that, but very good quality players, like a Rafinha-type player that will push us forward. I still think we need another winger. I think we need an attacking mid, but we're not going in for one. So, yeah, I'd be underwhelmed.
I didn't think we'd go big this summer, because I think we did. We went massive last summer, and I don't think you can do 2 on the spin. But having said that, yeah, we've lost Kiko, replaced him with a keeper. We've lost Alioski, replaced him with a left back. We've replaced like for like, but you forget Berardi, Hernandez. They were big key squad players for us. They haven't been replaced.
No.
No. We've had more bodies go out than come in.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. So would I be underwhelmed? Massively, yeah. I agree with Lewis. Massively underwhelmed.
Even like it's been said, Pablo and Berra, they're out. We've lost them.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They didn't play much anyway. But still.
They were good squad players to have. Like you can name 9 on the bench.
Yeah.
Who's our 9 going to be?
No, and I think
our 9 is going to constantly rotate every game. Is that that's what our 9 is going to be?
I mean, I think this can be, it can be an entirely different podcast. I mean, we were talking about Manchester United just in general. The issue is, and it is the small squad, and it's how we've worked, and it's excellent, and it's Bielsa, and it's beautiful, and we were 9th last year, and it was an incredible season. But the caveat to that is, you look at this weekend, and if Firpo was to be out, it's all speculation. We'll find out from Bielsa on Thursday. If Firpo is out and Llorente is out, from the 23rd of February, when Llorente was in the side, when Stuart Dallas was in central midfield, Leeds United was 2nd in the form table. That's how good we were with that as a mainstay. And it was a consistent side, really. With Dallas out of central midfield, going to left back, obviously Firpo out of the side, potentially. It looks like that's how it's going to be. Then you've got to look at an entirely different situation of the midfield. Now, we've seen Click and Rodrigo at Old Trafford really, really struggle with, McTominay and Fred. What then happens? I know this sounds quite hypothetical, but with these injuries, we normally find out later down the line that it's 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. We don't know, and we never know with Leeds United, and hopefully that's not the case. And I doubt it will be with Llorente. But these are things that you've got to plan for, haven't you? And I'm not for one saying go out and get another centre back, but I think a central midfielder completely helps every single problem in this Leeds United side.
Yeah, the thing with Llorente is, I mean, I was at that Real Betis game. It was just so innocuous. Nothing really happened, and he's injured. So they're the ones that scare me the most, because they're the ones that aren't just a week, 10 days, and you're back in the team. If you're pulling up, the something's gone. And I think you're right to mention the Firpo situation, because Dallas straight out of midfield to left back, we're losing Dallas in midfield then, and then it has that square pegging round hole feel, shuffling people around the pitch just because of the squad depth, really.
Yeah, and I think
you look at Man United, and they've got 2-3 players for each position. Like one comes out, one to go in. You're not having to change players around, and that's just the levels that we're at the minute. I think it's with it because it's Leeds United. People forget, but it is only our second season back.
Yeah, of course.
We are playing massively catch up against these teams.
100%. Yeah. 100%, mate, and this is why we've got to be positive as well as it. And I don't want us to be coming around like, you know, coming across of riding negative, because we're not.
I think it's cemented in us though, mate. Now, like there's always that part of us, especially after, you know, I can't really say the last 16 years, because for me it's more like the last what.
You 10, are 16. 12.
Yeah, I am 16. Yeah. No, I'm 20. How dare thee, Connor?
Oh, the big 2-0.
Yeah, the big 2. Oh, thanks, mate. Thank you.
The thing is, though, like just touching on that, for this, I don't want to say this disrespectful, like, but this generation of fan, this is the first time they'll have seen Leeds in the Premier League. So they've every right to be.
This is what I mean. Pessimistic. It's like there's always it's like drilled into you to be.
They've every right to be not. I don't know if pessimistic, but we've taken that long to get here. We want to stay here.
Yeah, so we will. We don't
want to tread water in the site transfer business. But having said that, there's a lot of teams that haven't really done much. I think the next 20 days in the transfer window will be massive for a lot of teams. With the small turnaround from the Euros and that, there's not really been much business done with anyone.
I think there's been big business done though. There's key business being done, like Grealish to City, Lukaku to Chelsea. Varane to Scum.
I was trying to take like the mega money teams out of it, but when you look at the
but I mean in terms of Villa,
they've had 100 million from Grealish to spend. They've known Grealish going. They've been spending that money. Like, look at Newcastle, not signed a single player.
They're in trouble. I know we're going to do predictions, but them and Southampton are in trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to say if Southampton lose Ward-Prowse as well, they're massively in the doo-doo. Like, but
the doo-doo.
Yeah,
great.
You know the kids are around when he's saying doo-doo.
You know exactly what I'd say, Connor, but you know, I'll keep that monetization.
I've already had a video pulled down for copyright. I'm keeping very PC.
Oh god, just keep that Sky TV out the way.
Honestly, I turned it off. I had Gillette Soccer Sat on other Score channels are available, but that was on in the background. I turned it off just in case.
But yeah, I'll tell you what, let's get into it. We've done a lot of preamble chat. It's 25 minutes in. People have clicked on this video, probably thinking, what on earth is going on? But it is a catch-up, isn't it? We've not caught up as a three. Okay, lads, what I want to do initially is the first question. I'm going to go through a series of categories of it's not like one of your shows, mate. Who wants to be a millionaire? But right, okay. First question I'm going to ask, and I want everyone in the comments to get involved as well. If you think of a new category, get it in the comments, and we'll flash it up on screen. Top scorer. Who's going to be Leeds United's top scorer this season? I'm going to go out on a whim. I think they're going to share the goals this year. I'm going to say Rafinha. I think Rafinha will be Leeds' top scorer this season. Lou, who do you think, mate?
Bamford.
Okay. Do you think he's going to replicate his sort of tally? Do you think he's going to get further up, or do you think he's going to maybe not get as many?
If I was to guess whether he would get more or less, I'd say less. But I still think he'll have a very good goal scoring season. He's not got any more creativity around him than he would have had last season. Have they improved? Yeah. For sure. Yes. What a shout that is. For sure, hat-trick. I did on a very side track because that's funny. Amazon, obviously they do the green screen, make everyone do celebrations, and they make every player do 3 celebrations. You just got Forshaw stood there going, I'm like, I won't score 1, never mind 3. Do I even need to do 2 more? And they're like, yeah, can you do 2 more, please? But I'm going to stick with Bamford. I'm going to stick with
Brownie.
Bamford.
Yeah, Bamford for me. I think he's hit the ground running in the pre-season games he's played as well, which is always important for a striker. You don't want to have a whole pre-season without a goal to your name, because then
just his awareness with Firpo already. That little like part, like that crossing. It's like they're all so aware of each other straight away.
That's one thing I've noticed. the thing I've noticed with Firpo, I mean, I like Talioski, but his final ball sometimes was infuriating. And
final product altogether.
Yeah, Firpo's balls across that 6-yard box. He did it quite a few times in the Blackburn game, a couple of times. He did it in the Real Betis game. He's just got that ball straight across, and Bamford's quickly latched onto it. So yeah, I can't look beyond Bamford for our top scorer. We know Bielsa loves him. Bielsa's going to play him. There was a part of me at the end of last season when Rodrigo was chipping in with goals where I thought, is Bamford going to get phased out? But
no,
he's going to be. I can't see it. He's going to be Bielsa's number 9 all season.
Yeah, Russell says Bamford, not as many as last year, but he also takes penalties, which, as we all know, is a huge help. I think he's taking the responsibility off Click now. Tom says Rodrigo scored 7 last season and played striker 13 times and didn't even play a full game there. If he is, I will say as a caveat to that, I think if he is, I don't think there's going to be many games where he's playing striker. Just
Bamford would need to pick up a serious long-term injury.
Yeah. Which Bamford was it his best season in terms of injury?
First season we signed him, he didn't come. He played against Bolton in Cup. There were a nutmeg assist from Saiz and scored, and then came back against Bolton. He was out for all that time till December. Came back against Bolton away. Pablo nutmeg to Bamford, and scored against Bolton again. So, but he was out for a long time, on and off that season because it was Roof, Bamford. But yeah, he was very consistent last season. I'm very surprised that he didn't pick up a long-term knock.
Just out of curiosity, who do you think is sort of going to get like secondary goal scoring for Leeds United? Do you think it's going to be a close one, or do you think it's going to be Bamford by a country mile again?
I think Rafa will get involved more.
Harrison for me. I think Harrison. Harrison. I just can't look beyond Bamford.
He's just that key man now, isn't he? The perspective on him. I've always liked him, but the perspective on him has changed completely.
The way we play as well, like we get the wingers to the byline. I like you say, Rafa and Harrison will be behind Bamford, but I don't think they'll be near him, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean it blows up in your face the midfield debate, because there's a lot of people saying Rodrigo second. I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that. I don't know whether or not Bielsa's going to go with Rodrigo in the midfield consistently. I would.
But he's been playing there in pre-season.
Yeah, he has, but I'm just not sure. I'm not sure he does that. I don't know if he does that. No. Maybe as a constant, I think it would be Dallas and Click.
Yeah.
I think Click's been very, very good in pre-season, to be honest. I think he's
good. If Firpo's out, you would assume Dallas, Rodrigo, midfield. Rodrigo, midfield, Dallas, left back.
Yeah.
And then if Llorente's out, you would assume Coops and Koch.
Yeah, I just don't think he's going to get as many games as people think, Rodrigo. And that's not my personal opinion. I just think that's just how it is. I don't think he'll get as many games as people think.
I think, but everyone's looking into that comment from Bielsa back end of last season, saying that he'll come good next season, or he said something along those lines. He said next season will be his breakthrough season, and he's a very big part of Bielsa's plans, because people are starting to doubt Rodrigo, and obviously the price tag. That's where Grealish is going to have a big problem at City, because when you've got that price tag riding on your back, people just expect more from you. And that's where Rodrigo being our, record signing coming in, everyone straight away were like writing Bamford off, saying, "Oh, here's our number 9, here's our 20-goal season striker," and it just didn't play out like that. Rafinha was the star signing, and Rodrigo just taking knocks on and off, in and out, and then picked up COVID, and it was just one thing after another, and then never really hit the ground running until kind of, you could argue, back end of the season. I mean, Burnley obviously is where he shone the most, but if he is a big part of Bielsa's plans, then yeah, maybe you can expect him involved a lot more if he's fit enough to do so and if he's in form.
Yeah, we'll see. Ian Fraser, remembering used to slate Bamford in the Championship, Connor. Yeah, you got to own up to it. I didn't think he was good enough. And
but in fairness, as much as I like him, a lot of the time there were, and I'm sure he'd admit this himself. It's criticism. It's not abuse. There's always a difference between, and a lot of people don't know how to differentiate abuse.
Hang on. People don't know the difference between criticism. On the football pitch.
He deserved the criticism a lot of the time. And I think he'd admit himself he should have been putting half of those chances away. And now he is. He'll be so happy with himself, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, of course.
On that though, Connor, with Bamford, how many managers wasn't having him? How many clubs did he go through until Bielsa got the best out of it?
I think 7.
Brownie, there's Championship Bamford, where I still wasn't sold on him, and there's Premiership Bamford, who is a different beast. Yeah, I think if anything, he seems to be made for the Premier League with this Leeds United side. I mean, the Championship, I still, if you ask me now, I know Lewis, you were obviously a massive advocate of him in the Championship. I think when he's got to the Premier League, he's absolutely thrived, and there's so many parts of his game which have improved. Which fair play to him. Fair play. I'm a massive fan of him at this moment in time.
His attitude and there was just something about him that I really liked. And a lot of time I was frustrated with him. Stood there in Cop, I'm like, Bamford, you've got to put that away. Like, and he'll know that himself. He's not stupid, but it's just so frustrating in the moment.
Is there less pressure?
That's what I was about to literally say.
There's less pressure in the Premier League. It took us 16 years to get to the Premier League. He was the number 9. How much pressure was on his shoulders to deliver and go up? Yeah. Whereas now in the Premier League,
free flowing.
We're not going down. We're not. Can
I just say one thing to that? And this is once again, I keep saying it, but a caveat. If we're talking about there's not been as much pressure on him in the Premier League, is that because fans haven't been there?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to link those two things together, and I think people have made this point countless times. In the Championship, we had a job to do. We had a target. We had to get to the Premier League. He's got all that riding on his back. Every chance he missed, more nerves, more pressure on him. Everyone got more on his back in the ground.
Yeah,
he can feel that as a person. He can't all that pressure on one person. It must be a lot. I couldn't cope with it in that moment sometimes. And I know he's been paid to score goals, but just because you're getting paid to do it, doesn't mean that you can always do it. And I was frustrated with him a lot of the time. But in the Prem, I think fans and players alike, as long as it goes kind of the same way as last season, even if we finish a bit worse off, 11th, 12th, 14th, whatever, I think fans and players alike are just enjoying the experience.
Yeah,
he's enjoying the experience. It's just free flowing, no pressure, scoring goals, showing people what he can do. And the more he's been scoring, the more he's been hyped up. Angus said in that podcast that we've rejected tens of millions of pounds from our marquee players. You would assume Bamford's amongst that. Especially that Ings has been snapped up by Villa. You would expect that clubs of their caliber have been looking at Bamford, sniffing around him, and we've rejected that. So it's clear how important he is to us, and I think he is going to have a very good season. I think he could easily score 12 plus. Double digits would have been good for him last season, and he's going to score 17. So I'm very confident in him. And I think top scorer.
Next one, young player of the year, Brownie. This depends on many things because the starting 11 at Leeds United, there's going to be no one really who breaks through. To be honest,
I was a massive. I wouldn't say massive, but I was in the firm camp of we needed another keeper as well as Meslier. Not putting aside that he's a great keeper. He had a mistake in him. I think after the Arsenal mistake, I thought he had a unbelievable second half of the season. To be fair. I can't look beyond Meslier for Young Player of the Year. I don't see anybody breaking into that 11. I don't think the keeper from Valemenga will be number 1. I think Meslier will be number 1. Not in a cat and L's chance, Chris. So you may as well put that comment back down.
I knew that'd rattle you.
Oh, mate. But yeah, I mean, where'd you Meslier? There's no other candidate really. Does Harrison fall into Young Player? If he does, Harrison,
he's a senior, established now.
In terms of breakout, I'd love to see instead of Poveda and Costa, I'd put him down. Somerville for me. I'm just praying he gets 2 or 3 games just to impress. 20 minutes off the bench. I've seen him in the 23s.
He's above
some player.
Definitely. I mean, does he do more than Costa possibly? But I think Somerville's one hell of a talent. We've got one hell of a talent on our hands with him.
Yeah, so I'm going to Somerville.
Direct. He just looks pacey. He's just direct. It's just something good to see.
Lou?
Yeah, I agree with Brownie. Melia. It's the most obvious option. Obviously, then you talk about young players coming in. But you can't say that now. Do you know what I mean? You can't say O'Brien or it's just Melia.
Yeah, true.
But I will say, and I don't want to give a negative note. It's the shakiest I've ever seen him look in pre-season.
Yeah,
is that an unfair comment?
This is what I mean, though. And me and
anyway, Connor, yeah, it's the shakiest I've seen him look. He's been beaten at his near post. I think the defense have left him open a lot. Nah, honestly, I've got full confidence in Melly, and you can't look into pre-season. But I just thought he's back. I just thought I'd throw that out there just to be a devil's advocate.
With Melia, this is why I always felt like we did need another keeper in. And I'm not saying Kiko is the answer, but the mistakes Melia made, if Kiko had made them, it'd have been the next Guy Fawkes on Bonfire Night. And I just think he got away with quite a bit. But that probably is because of his age. But when Lewis is saying he's shaky, he does give me the jitters sometimes. But
not as much as Kiko did.
No, not on Kiko's level.
I thought you were Brad. I didn't know what you were
little
doing
things
there.
Like in the game. What game was it? The Ajax game where he's dinking a ball out to Shackleton.
Yeah. Ajax and Real Betis, both of them. He was. I don't know if it was just because of the opponents were playing, or because he felt he needed to keep proving himself, or what. I don't. Again, I'm like a broken record. I don't like to look into pre-season, but when you see things like that, there's always going to be a party in the back of your mind.
But then on the flip side, I do think Meliet will go on and play for France. It's sort of weird, but you don't have a keeper. It's very unusual to have a keeper at such a young age as a number one.
So, he's still very young though, so you can't. Really.
It's very unusual to have him at that age as a number one. When do you see keepers that age being number ones? And I just think it's testament to him that he's established himself as a Premier League number one. Yeah. So he's bound to have mistakes in him at such a young age as a keeper.
Right, this one. Listen, I want it to be light-hearted. Okay, this category. I want it to be light-hearted. I don't want everyone to get. Listen in the chat. Don't get too upset by it. Let's not have snowflakes in the chat. It's just a little bit of banter. Okay, right. So, flop of the season.
Helder Costa.
Okay, straight off the bat, Lou. Helder Costa. Brownie.
Do I even need to answer?
Is it Tyler Roberts by any chance?
Oh
Brownie?
My word! There was a tweet today. It went out, and it was about his stats. And his bar for assists was all the way across. I was thinking, who's made this? And there was another one. It was X-Threat or something. I went, the most dangerous place to be is bang slap in the middle of the goal when Roberts has got the ball. But yeah, go on. I'll let Lewis talk about Helder Costa because I'm not getting into Tyler Roberts tonight.
I don't think I even need to say anything. I don't think you need to say anything because I've just looked at the chat and all I say is Costa, 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 Roberts, Costa, Roberts.
Can I just say as well? And I think, listen, we'll all say this. It's a little bit of fun, and what we want, and it's not a negative thing. We genuinely want. There we go. We want Helder Costa, we want Tyler Roberts to absolutely hit.
What do we do with them? On a serious note, what do we do with them? Do we load them out? Do we just sell?
No, it's depth. We'd still need the depth. As much as I don't think the Premier League quality at all, we still need that depth. They're still good players. They can still offer things. I just don't. If you're going to have to pick a flop, those two, Costa for me and Roberts for you, are the ones that £3. You're splitting that 3 ways, Connie.
What do you want? Some refreshos, Fredo? What do you want?
The way tonight's going, another £1 in my internet meter.
Yeah, Alfie, thank you though, mate. Thank you.
When did Mickey join us?
Okay, next one. What have we got? We've got. I don't know if I've repeated that. Have I said? Yeah, I've said that. Oh, I've not said this one. Assist. Who's going to be the assist king?
Rafinha.
I'm going to go Harrison.
Yeah, just to be awkward, Brownie. Couldn't just agree.
No, I just think Harrison. I mean, what did he have? 16 goal contributions last year. I mean, he was the most English midfielder, and to think that we've got him for 11 million or whatever it was for Man City, something like that. It's crazy, and then they've gone and spent 100 million on another. It's bonkers. But I think Harrison, just just like the balls he just pulls out of the sky. It mesmerised me. I think
his first touch is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Sometimes does he infuriate me? Well, infuriate me is probably the wrong word. Sometimes he's, and you know what I mean, Connor, don't you? With crossing sometimes, but I just think he gets into so many good positions that I just think he will.
Have we touched on player of the season yet? Have we done that one?
No.
Right, I'm gonna go Junior Firpo. I think he's going to give a real balance to this Leeds United side, which I didn't think we had with Alioski. I think he's going to give us a real defensive presence on the left as well. And I think him and Harrison are going to form a really, really nice combo. We saw it in the Betis game, especially for that goal that Bamford scored. And I think that's hopefully if Firpo and Harrison have decent seasons in terms of fitness. Harrison normally does, but hopefully Firpo's going to hit the ground running. And I think if he does, he's going to, imagine at the weekend if he plays and he just pockets Sancho. Yeah. He's done it with Mbappe. He's done it with
From
Mbappe.
what I'm seeing, Sancho ain't even going to start.
Nah, he might come on though.
Well, yeah.
They'll play Dan James. They always do against us. They always play Dan James because they like to just hit us on the counter.
Yeah, but it didn't work last time, and he didn't switch it up, and he didn't think Solskjaer. This is why he's a PE teacher. Bielsa switched it up. Bielsa thought about it. We can't go there and have the same game plan, so we're going to get thumped again. So he switched it up. He changed strategies. What did Solskjaer do? Just didn't even. It's almost like he didn't even watch us and how we developed at the second half.
Well, that's one thing Bielsa said this week. I was reading it today. He said, because obviously people are talking about this second season syndrome and. Yeah, people do know how we play, but he said we know how they play. We've got a better idea of how they play. It's not like switched it round. So I think you saw that in the second half of the season when we were playing these teams in the reverse fixture. We set up so different, like the Chelsea game at home. We set up so differently, and we just soaked it all up. And
the thing is, though, so we got battered 6-2 at Old Trafford. We then come to Ellen Road. We changed the way we play. They don't really know how to counter that because they were expecting us to play the same way we played at Old Trafford because that's the way we usually play. But Bielsa actually changed things up. Rare occasion, but did. Will Solskjaer then be able to, on Saturday, counter how we played against them at Ellen Road, assuming that we will play like that against them at Old Trafford because it worked? Not saying we're going for a 0-0 draw because you never want to go in with that attitude. Would I take a 0-0 draw? Yeah, I'd bite your hand right now. But, obviously it'd be nice to see a goal, but going there knowing I'm going to have a class day and we're not going to lose, bite your hand off that right now. But will Solskjaer be able to do what Bielsa did? Don't know, because every time I've watched Scum play, they play one way and it is boring.
Yeah.
The only time I've seen them, obviously I don't make a habit of watching them, so I could be chatting complete, rubbish here. Thank you. But they played so differently against us to how I expected them to play. They were just so quick coming at us, and it's like we didn't expect that. But obviously, it was different Ellen Road. So I'm just wondering if Solskjaer will be able to turn things around, assuming that we'll set up differently. Or you never know, we might just go at them like we did at Liverpool. First game of last season, and then get thumped again. Let's see.
I don't know if you know the fixtures, but Rick, if I sort of adapted his questions here, how many points are we taking against the so-called Big Six this season? In fact, there's no point in adapting that. If you can think of the top six, the generic top six, what would you guys say? Obviously, 2 games each.
We beat Scum at least once this season.
I think we do too.
We beat Chelsea at least once this season.
Really?
Chelsea. I fancy them for the league, me.
I think Chelsea would be that game. Nah, City winning league. I mean, I've just spoke my prediction.
We haven't even got on there yet. You both just said you bloody picks.
I know, but it's the top's always going to be either one or the other, so it's not really spoiled anything. But it's City. Just if they don't win the league with that squad. Jeez, I know Chelsea are bringing Lukaku in, but anyway, we're sidetracking. But I think we beat Chelsea at least once this season. I think that's going to be the type of Man City game. I think City do double over us. I think.
What is it?
I think Arsenal do double over us. I've just got a feeling that they're going to be a lot stronger this season. I think it needs to be Arteta's season where it's make or break for him. And I think
I'm the opposite with Arsenal.
Do you think? No. I think Spurs. I think the way you're thinking about Arsenal is the way I'm thinking about Spurs.
See, I was like that with Spurs. I thought take Kane out.
I think we could do double over Spurs. I think we could do double over Spurs.
But then you think they've got 150 million to spend. Bring in some good players with that.
They better do it.
So overall, we beat one of the top 6 last year. Yeah, is that right? We beat one of them, didn't we? Man City away. Is that right? Have I got that right?
No, Spurs.
So beat 2 of them. So are we going to improve? Are we going to improve on that this season? Do you think, or do you think it's going to be the same or worse?
Well, when you put it like that, now you just put a complete doubt in my head. Me saying we're going to beat Scum, we're going to beat Chelsea, we're going to do double over Spurs.
I'm expecting a very similar season. I think we'll finish mid-table again. I think it'll be very like. I think beating the top teams. I think Lewis is right. I do think we'll beat Man United once this season.
Yeah.
I just think a packed Ellen Road this season will get a big win.
I was just going to say I'd love us to win on Saturday, but if I'm going to say we're going to win anyway, it's going to be a packed out Ellen Road.
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to ask you then. We're going to listen, lads. We're going to have to move on quickly, but if you just got me a bit excited there. If we're beating Man United once, what's the score going to be, and where's it going to be?
It's always 1-0. We always beat when we beat Man United. It's 1-0. Wetherall,
1-0 Ellen Road.
It's always 1-0. So it'll be 1-0 Rafinha.
Oh.
1-0 Phillips, Ellen Road. I've improved on it. Imagine though. Yes, please.
But going back to the player of the season, Connor, I was going to say for me, Llorente, until he got injured, and then you just look at his injury record and you think, will he play a full season? I really thought that in the Blackburn game, he was just in that, just some of the tackles he looks class. You just can't get a full season out of him.
If anybody's, and I know these lads have, but if anybody wants to check out Diego Llorente's injury record over the past 6 years, I think it is absolutely horrendous. So we're never going to get a full season out of him. But in terms of where are Leeds going to finish, I tell you what, I'll go first. I think, and I would be buzzing with this, really happy, and I think a lot of people in the chat, I don't know why, will get at me for this and say I'm negative. I don't understand why, because I don't think this is negative at all. I'm going to go with Leeds finishing in 13th. I think the reason behind that is because I think a lot of teams, in my personal opinion, have improved or got new managers, aka Wolves. I think West Ham are still going to have a really, really strong season. And I think we'll do okay this year, but I think there's going to be teams that have strengthened that are going to be ahead of us. And I don't think there's going to be much in the points difference. But as I've said several times, I think the league's going to be a lot stronger this year. But 13th for me. What about you, Lou?
Now it makes sense why you're wearing that shirt.
15.
Now it makes sense. I've gone for a slightly different flavour. 7th.
7th, okay.
Yeah,
so quick. So quick. We're not going to go quick fire on that. 7th, okay. So obviously there's a top 6, top 8. So in your just top 10 mindset there, where are you going? What are you going where?
What? You want me to say my top 10?
Yeah, go top 10 quickly.
Okay.
Quickly, I said, Lou.
Go to Brownie. I've lost it. Go to Brownie.
Go on, Brownie. So where do you think Leeds are going to finish?
I think Leeds will finish 10th. I think we'll be middle of the road. I think it'll be very similar to last year. I think Chelsea, Man City will compete for the title. I think Chelsea win the Champions League. I think people underestimated them. And then adding Lukaku, I think the only thing they were missing was a 20-goal season striker, and they now brought in Lukaku. Liverpool, Man United, I think will compete the other top 4 places. And I've got Leicester, Tottenham, Villa, Everton, Arsenal, Leeds. I think Everton, Arsenal, Leeds will interchange them 8, 9, and 10 positions. I can't see any other teams breaking into the top 10. I think West Ham, I know you mentioned West Ham will have another good season. I don't think they will. They've got no Lingard. They'll be playing in Europe. They're playing in Europe and they have no Lingard. I don't see them having the same type of season. I think when you play in Europe, I think it massively impacts you. I think it's been the worst thing possible, Leeds getting into Europe with our squad this season.
Apparently Rice could be on his way out as well. So if that happens, that's a big factor. But I've found mine, but go on, Brownie.
No, I was saying, I just think Everton, Arsenal, Leeds are very similar. I know you think Arsenal do well this season. I don't know.
I just think they need to. Otherwise, it's Arteta done, and I think
if Arsenal don't get off to a good start, Arteta is in massive trouble.
Yeah. I've gone 10th Wolves, 9th Villa, 8th Spurs, 7th us, 6th Arsenal, 5th Leicester, 4th Liverpool, 3rd Scum, 2nd Chelsea, and 1st City. I think it was very tight between City and Chelsea.
Quite similar, that, to be fair. Yeah. The top 10 are the same teams, aren't they? So
I've got.
So we finished 9th last year, Connor.
Yeah.
Which 4 teams are jumping us?
Yeah, so I think we're going to have City, who are going to win it. I think it's going to be Chelsea, Liverpool going to finish 3rd, Scum in 4th, Leicester 5th, Arsenal 6th, Spurs 7th, Wolves 8th, West Ham 9th, Villa 10th, Brighton 11th.
What? Yeah. I know exactly why. I know. I'll let you explain, but I know exactly why you said that.
And Leeds, I'm going to go 12th. I'm not going to go 13th. I'm going to go 12th.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen.
Right, let me just strap myself in for this Brighton prediction.
No, I know what he's going to say, and it makes
Brighton's. People sleep on Brighton. They're a good team. Yeah. They're a very, very good team. A lot of depth. A lot of money has been spent in that squad. They've got a chairman who's a multi-millionaire. They've recruited well again this summer. Their XG was, I think they were 5th in the division.
Yeah, they should have finished.
They should have finished. I think it was 22 points ahead of what they did. They've got 4 weeks left of the window. Yeah. If they replace Neil Maupay, who can't hit a barn door with a banjo, if they replace him, Brighton, they're set up. They are set up as a club. People can, I know Ben White's a big miss, but they've got replacements in there. They've got depth at centre back. And they play a good brand of football, and people are going to hate me for that. But that is just...
No, you're bang on. I knew exactly what you were going to say as soon as you said it. But if they don't get that striker, which is where they're lacking, they really, really are lacking a goal scorer. Really, really are. I've gotten 14 because I don't think they're going to replace him. Personally, I think it's part of the plans, and it doesn't look like they're good. And obviously, there's 4 weeks left, so anything could change. But it doesn't look like they're looking to even replace him or bring anyone in.
A lot of people asking about Wolves as well. Wolves have just brought in, I think he's called Lauge or something like that, ex-Benfica manager, worked with João Felix, had him in the 10, just in a 4-4-1-1, sort of 4-3-3 formation, very, very attacking brand of football. And I think if you get Adama Traore, Pedro Neto, Jimenez is coming back as well. I think if you have that Wolves side, if you just release the shackles a little bit, I think they could be a dangerous side. This is my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong. I'm probably completely wrong. But yeah, interesting chat, innit, lads? It is an interesting chat.
Are we doing?
It's going to be a good season. I think.
Yeah, like Brownie. I've gone off piste on this chat, and I'm sorry, but we're going to keep going. Brownie, coming to you first, mate. Bottom 3.
No, I'll do it. 18, 18, 18, 19, 19, 19.
All right, look at him. He's loving it, Lewis, isn't he? He's like, ooh.
Do it that way. I want to know if any of us are.
Okay. Brownie, who's finishing 18th and why?
I don't know.
Well, thanks for everyone tuning in. We'll see you in
no, let's go 20 up because that makes it more. I think that last step's always debatable.
Right, go 20. Go 20 up.
I think Norwich are in the bottom 3. I think their start is horrendous. I think they could be cut adrift before it even gets to end of September. Have you seen their opening fixtures, Norwich's? Wow.
They've got like 5 of the big
Welcome back. They've sold Buendia. Cantwell looks like he's on his way out. I just don't get it.
The last time they came up, they were planning for The last time they came up, they were planning for relegation.
Yeah.
I think the chairman or someone just beneath the chairman came out and said, as soon as we came up, we were planning for relegation. That's not a good club mindset. It's not a good project. Not at all. So, hello.
Hi, Brownie.
A Norwich fan, I think, and they kicked me out.
I've gone for Southampton in 18th. I think I don't know. I think Danny Ings going out. Adam Armstrong could be an unbelievable replacement, by the way. I love Adam Armstrong. So that could be like for like. But if they lose Ward-Prowse, and if they lose Ward-Prowse, it is game, set, and match for them. And
I think Vestergaard on his way out as well.
Vestergaard, yeah. There's a lot of rumours. So I think Hasenhüttl. I mean, Norwich. The problem with Norwich is if they lose Cantwell, it's game over straight away. But Buendia, I mean, they brought in Rashica, I think it is, from Werder Bremen, I think. And he's a very highly rated player. But replacing it, people who've slept on Emi Buendia are going to understand what Emi Buendia is all about this year. He is some player, and replacing him is going to be absolutely massive. So I don't think they've done that yet. And 20th, Watford. What have Watford done in the window? What have they done? What have they done? What have they done? Like, nothing's changed. So
they've got Danny Rose. How dare you?
Danny Rose. There you go. Not for me, mate. Not for me. I think Brentford will scrape out of it because of Ivan Toney. I think Toney will keep them up. Yeah,
I've got Southampton 18th. I've got Brentford 19th, and I've got Norwich 20th. I think Watford will stay up.
See, I'm Watford, Norwich, and I am leaning towards Southampton. But if they keep Vestergaard,
mate, even then they're an absolute mess. They've been clinging on for it. So have Newcastle as well.
That's right. What Lewis just said then is bang on. Do you know when teams are flirting with relegation,
like Villa for ages,
upon year, and then eventually they go through the trap door? That's the feel I get with Southampton.
Yeah.
But then you look at teams like Newcastle and Burnley who've just become resilient now. They do it every year and they're used to it.
I just think Newcastle have got enough to get out. They've got Callum Wilson, they've got Joe Linton, they've got St Maximin. I just think they have just enough to scrape out of it. Newcastle.
Yeah. What about who's going to be this is what I'm going to spring on you. I'm going to go with Isco, the Watford boss. Who do you think is going to get sacked first?
Arteta.
Do you know what? Do you know what?
I think he's banging trouble if they have a bad start.
It's a shout.
Yeah, I'm going to go Isco at Watford. I think they just fire managers.
Yeah, if something's not going right at Watford, manager's gone.
Watford.
A lot of people. Brownie, there's loads of people saying Arteta. I would never have said that. I would never.
Vieira's a good shout as well.
Vieira.
What do you think to Palace this season? What do you think to Palace?
It could go.
The fact that I think Vieira is going to get sacked first tells you enough.
Yeah.
I don't know, because then I've got Palace to finish 15th or something.
Remember when Palace caught in the Dutch guy's manager? What was he called? He got sacked after.
De Boer.
Yeah, he got sacked after like 5-6, lost 7 straight games or something daft, didn't he? That has that feeling that could happen with Vieira. But
Rafa's not a bad shout either. Everton are in absolute disarray at the minute. Their transfer window
looks like Football Manager 2013.
James Rodriguez must be fuming. He's come to Everton from Real Madrid to play for Ancelotti. For Ancelotti to go, I'm off to Real Madrid, mate, bye. Now he's left at Everton. But yeah, a club that's nicknamed the Toffees. He's playing alongside.
All right, we'll go general then, and there might be a lot of people here who are not Leeds fans, which is great. You know, you don't have to be a Leeds fan to tune in. Listen, if you don't mind liking the video as well, there's over 550 of you live now. Do us a favor, we've been on for an hour and we're going to keep going for a little bit longer. If you're not subscribed, do us a solid, hit the subscribe button and keep commenting, of course. Okay, this is one I've sprung on you both really quickly as well. I wanted to do this. Young player of the season, just generally in the Premier League. What are we saying? I'll give you a couple of minutes if you can't think. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Young player of the season in the Prem.
I mean, Foden springs to mind.
Yeah, it's first name that came into my mind was Foden as well.
Phil Foden.
Smith Rowe is a shout.
Yeah. A lot of people saying Saka. Do you know what I love?
Nah.
Harvey Barnes, man. I love Harvey. What a player.
Yeah.
We nearly had him. He was at Thorpe Arch. God, man.
he looks quality against us at King Power.
Sancho. Elise is a good shout from Sam at Palace. I think that's just going to be hindered by the fact that Vieira's going to get sacked in 2 games. Don't clip this up. when they beat Leeds. Vicky, hit the subscribe button, like and comment also. Thanks, Vicky.
But yeah, when you were touching on the Watford, I was having a chat with my brother about Watford. I couldn't even name you the Watford manager.
Isco.
That's what I mean. But until you mentioned, I couldn't. Do you know what I mean? They go through managers that many times.
Yeah. Player of the season in the Prem. It's a good one, that, isn't it? It's a good one because it's a real.
You can't answer it.
Nah.
You can't answer it. Like,
I think Chelsea are going to go really. Honestly, I think Chelsea could win the league, and if they do, it'll be a Chelsea. Lukaku.
Yeah. Josh has said Lukaku as well. Yeah. I'm going to go.
I just think that's all I thought Chelsea were missing. Did you think about the players they've got all over? It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
it's a good
shit. They needed that identity, like the striker with an identity. Like Werner was just
Alfie legend. Thanks for the £10, mate. Willock. Wow. Yeah, potentially. I don't know if you're a Geordie, mate, but there you go. There you go. Oh, you don't. Oh, to be fair, no, he was probably saying young player of the year.
If you send me a tenner, I'll agree with you.
No, he's saying young player. He was player of the season. I'm gonna go for.
But he did
Grealish.
do well at the end of last season for Newcastle.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna go.
Grealish goes one way or the other, doesn't it?
See, I'm gonna put it on You can click this up if you want.
We can't. You're in the dark.
I don't think he plays that much.
Grealish. Yeah, maybe not.
It stinks of we're stopping him from signing somewhere else. If you ask me, to be honest.
Maybe. Do you spend £100 million to stop someone signing for someone else, though? That is ridiculous. I mean, 40 million maybe, but 100.
What about Golden Boot winner? I think Lukaku, to be honest.
Yeah, you'd have said Kane, wouldn't you? But Kane's just in two minds about
where's Kane going to end up?
I think he stays at Spurs. I think he stays at Spurs.
Leeds, I think.
Yeah, I just think he stays at. I just think up top with Bamford. I think Swapdale, Bamford goes Spurs. I think he just stays at Spurs. I think they're just going to keep him there. I think he's locked up there for the rest of his life. To be perfectly honest, I don't think he's ever getting out. He's got a never expiring contract. He tried not turning up to training and they've dragged him there. He's put some bullshit. Oh, sorry. I was doing so well. He's put some BS statement out saying, "Oh,
you can't say Lou. You can't say bullshit and then say BS afterwards. You've done it now, mate."
Well, I can't say. If I say it again, you've got more chance. I think he's probably been advised to come out and say what he said, but it just smells of. It just smells. Something smells off with that. Or they're in agreement that I won't turn up to training until a certain point. What? Why? You want on any duty anywhere? What? You just allowed extra leave? Like, no, you didn't want. You do not want to play for Spurs. You want to be elsewhere. You don't want to come into training. And they've again kept him. I think they're just going to keep him there, and I think he's not going to have a great season. I don't think his heart's in it, like Bale at Madrid, that kind of situation.
Right, quick fire: Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League, League Cup, Champions League. Straight of all, I'm going to go with Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to retain it. Brownie
or PSG?
No, I'm changing. Why am I saying PSG? It's the best chance to win it. Ramos, Marquinhos.
If Pochettino doesn't win it with that team, we've never managed to again.
Yeah, agreed. FA Cup. I'm going to go with Arsenal. No European football. I think we'll go far in it. They've won it more than everyone.
You think FA Cup? You just think Arsenal? Like no other trophy. It's just FA Cup. Arsenal. FA Cup. Leicester.
Nice.
Again.
Man City.
Okay. FYI, heard that Lang and Strauch just started following each other on Instagram. Still hoping for Kuna, to be honest. Thank you for your donation, mate. Have you heard or have you seen? I don't know. A lot of people saying Leeds, but there's no chance we're taking that competition seriously. Well, there is another Crawley game coming up, everyone. Just because Bielsa doesn't take it seriously, I'm telling you.
He doesn't. It
is essentially the same as pre-season.
Does the press conference. It's a traditional competition. We're going to take it really seriously. And smashes the under-18s out.
Crawley nearly score 8.
I mean, to be fair, we did have Kiko in goal. Even then, better his near post twice. former Real Madrid Champions League winning keeper Kiko Casilla conceding twice in their post at Crawley.
Premier League.
City
for me.
I can't say I'm not.
Just because I like to be different, I'm going to say Chelsea.
I can see it.
Did you have Chelsea Champions League or you said PSG?
PSG Champions League.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I'm saying Pep's getting sacked.
And for the League Cup, I've gone City again. I think they've won it more than ever, and it's a quick competition. It's a really quick competition, and that's why I think it favours them. So I'm going to go for City.
City, yeah, for me.
Okay. Alfie, once again, I think Arsenal got the FA Cup. Yeah, you're not wrong, Alfie. Me and you, Alfie, get along. Right, well, that's going to be it. We've been going for an hour and 10 minutes, lads. Thank you so much. I don't know where Brownie is. It's like some sort of cave over there now.
He's figured out there's some sort of connection between his lighting and his internet.
I don't move, mate. I don't move. I've been cut off about 14 times. Got the room to balance right next to the computer now. I'm not moving.
Yeah, when you turn that laptop off, it's going to be pitch black in that room.
He's just going to sit there and just think about life.
Oh, brilliant.
If I put this lamp on, it'll feel like I'm on the moon. It'll be...
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, fellas, thank you so much. If you have just joined, you can go watch this all again. I probably will, to be honest. I always love watching these back. But thank you so much for joining. Make sure you subscribe, of course. Like the content, all that good stuff. Lewis, thank you so much again, mate. Twice in a week. You're going to get a hat trick soon.
Hi, everyone. Go watch my new video that I uploaded an hour ago. Thank you.
Have you actually? I've not even checked. I've been out.
Yeah, it's do you ever remember the old school Super Sunday Premier League intro?
Nah, it's shit. Don't go check it out. It sounds shit.
How very dare you unsubscribe from One Leeds, everybody?
It'll be very good. You know it will be. It'll be very good. Go check.
I like it. And subscribe.
Yeah, do all that good stuff. Brownie will be back, of course, for the previews, for the reviews, all this sort of good stuff very soon. And that's it, lads. So thank you so much for joining, and we will see you in a bit. Cheers.